Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and we're carrying on with the Prophet, with the story of Prophet Adam alayhi salam. If you are new to the channel, then I'm going through the stories of the prophets with my son, and we're going to be talking through as many of the stories as we possibly can, and we're going to relate them to today. So, where we finished off last time is we were talking about Adam alayhi salam and his when the ruh entered his body. Do you know what happened when? Do you remember what happened when
when it first went into him?
Yeah.
Prophet Adam sneezed when it first went into it.
That's right.
He said Alhamdulillah, and then Allah said Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. That's
And then
right.
Prophet Adam
And what are we
said,
required to do when somebody sneezes?
Do the same thing.
Ham-
Same act.
Alhamdulillah for the person who sneezes.
Then the person who heard it, they say Alhamdulillah.
Ya
And then
Alhamdulillah.
the person who sneezed say Atiqullah.
Ya Alhamdulillah. That's right. So, you know, there's a few things that we've been instructed to do as Muslims, and most of the time, the things that we've been told to do and shown how to do them, we were told by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the command was revealed on earth. But there's a handful of things where we were either recommended or encouraged to do things, and the command for it was revealed in Jannah. Do you remember what things they are? One of them is this: when somebody sneezes.
And then I can't remember what the other one is. There's one more, but I can't remember what it was.
There's two that I can think of straight away. We do it 5 times every day.
Oh, prayer.
Prayer is one of the things. Salah was revealed in Jannah. There's one more.
And
What do you say? How do we greet other Muslims?
oh, salam.
Yes. So that's it. So when after Adam alayhi salam, his ruh was entered his body, there's something else that's unique about Adam alayhi salam, and that is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the ruh inside Adam alayhi salam. Okay, for everyone else it was an angel, and for Adam alayhi salam it was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. So after he came to life, and I think a lot of us know about the story that happened, Shaytan came to him and encouraged him through his wife Hawa
to eat from the tree.
That's right. Do you know how why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Hawa?
It's because you know how people they're not around humans, like especially with other animals as well, and they begin to feel lonely, and also when they feel lonely, then they're going to get used to like being around animals, and then when there's like normal stuff like the same thing as them around them, then they're going to find it weird.
That's right. Humans don't live in isolation. They have other people around them. So this was something about our nature as humans that Adam alayhi salam demonstrated to us straight away, is that we feel lonely at certain moments in time. Okay, and he requested to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he creates somebody else like him who can keep him company, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Hawa. So Shaytan came to Hawa, his wife, and he whispered to her, and do you know what he said?
He said something like if you eat from that tree, something like he would become like special, and after that's when Hawa told Prophet Adam, and because of that, I think Prophet Adam, that's when he was like more convinced about it.
So Shaytan promised them a kingdom. Okay, promised them a kingdom. No, he was right. He was right. Promised them a kingdom, and in the sense that they would have lots of people who followed them and were like them, basically children.
Yeah.
Okay, And it's in human nature, it's normal for people to want to have kids and want to have a family. Okay, and we also learned that from Adam alayhi salam. Okay, so he came to Hawa and he whispered and he said that, you know, if you do this, you're going to end up with all of these things. And the trick came through Hawa. Okay, because Adam alayhi salam knew that he was forbidden to eat from that tree, and that's what happened. So from there, you have to just remember one or two things. You know, Adam alayhi salam, he was part of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation, but he wasn't a prophet yet.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
It's only because at first it was like so it's only when he went down to earth that's when he became a prophet.
Why was he not a prophet when he was in Jannah?
It's because when he was in Jannah there wasn't anyone to really tell to worship Allah,
That's
because everyone else already did. And then when he got to earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him a prophet. So after that, so when he has children, he's able to teach them Islamic callings and stuff.
That's right. So remember we were talking about Nabi and Rasul. Adam alayhi salam and anyone else, for them to deliver a message, whether it's a new one or an existing one from a previous prophet, they need to have people that they can share the message with. And at that moment in time in Jannah, Adam alayhi salam, although he had communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he had nobody to deliver the message to. So you're absolutely right about that. Okay, there's a few other things as well to note. Why do you think this trick of Shaytan worked on Adam and Hawa? Adam alayhi salam.
I'm not sure.
And why do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed it to happen?
Oh, it was a test.
It was a test, yeah. So there's let me mention it. You know, Adam alayhi salam, being the first ever man, he had no knowledge or experience of Shaytan. He didn't know about Shaytan's tricks and how he can convince you to do things that are not right, and he wasn't aware of it whatsoever. So one of the things that happened in Jannah was Adam alayhi salam came to know about how Shaytan tricks other people, because the first one was on him through his wife.
If the first one's on him, he'll basically like know most of the skills, because if the first one's on him, it's most likely for him to use very similar skills on other people as well.
That's right.
Depending on their personalities and stuff.
Correct. So Allah tells us that He has forgiven Adam alayhi salam for this, for eating from the tree, and one of the other things was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was also preparing Adam and the generations to come about the tricks of Shaytan, right? Because if you don't understand Shaytan and you don't understand the tricks that he plays on you, and you have no knowledge or experience of it, then it's really difficult for you to recognize when Shaytan might be playing a trick on you, right? That was the first time that it happened. So the likelihood of it working was very high because nobody had any knowledge or experience of how Shaytan plays his tricks. Okay? Now, we already knew that Shaytan was going to do this, because you remember earlier, before Adam alayhi salam was brought to life, Shaytan made a promise, and he said that I'm going to
be an enemy of this thing.
Correct.
But before he even knew it.
Correct. So right now,
he never even met him.
So right now, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of years of experience as humans of the tricks that Shaytan plays on us. Yep. And every month, every day, every year, Shaytan learns more and more about us, and he becomes more sophisticated in the way that he attacks us.
What does sophisticated mean?
Sophisticated. So it's a bit like, it's like you know how you play chess.
Yeah.
When you plan 2, 3, or 4 moves ahead, that means you're more sophisticated. It's when you're able to plan 3 or 4 steps ahead, makes you more sophisticated.
Oh, so on the thing you already know a bit on what they're going to do because you've played it
That's
before,
right.
and after that you know something which they might fall for, and then you give it a try.
That's right. So you know how, see how I did that?
Yeah.
See how I moved my arm really fast towards your face and I just knew you were going to do that. Now, if I planned something else after that, I already know you're going to move your head back. So you could have moved your head back and I had something else behind your head. That's an example.
Oh, it's like.
So even though I didn't touch you, just by me waving my hand near your face like that, you move your head back, and I don't know, let's say I put some chocolate on the back of your chair, and then you put your head straight into the chocolate. Funny, yeah?
So you said it a bit funny.
Okay, cool. So let's carry on. Now, Adam alayhi salam, he was sent to Earth. It was actually sent as a punishment. Interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of people, humans in general, you know when you spend a lot of time with something, and you put a lot of time and energy and effort into it, you care for it a lot. Okay, so that's why all parents like their kids, because they spend a lot of time and they put a lot of energy into it. If you just like these videos that we're making, we're putting time and energy into them. They're important to us. So anything that you invest time and energy into, they become very important to you. So what's interesting is that today, for many people, it's really difficult for humans to see beyond this life.
It's because it's beyond our imagination.
Correct.
It's like no human has ever had a picture of like what they know, exactly what Jannah's going to be like.
We have descriptions of it though, but nobody's seen it. So now, if you compare Jannah to this life, even just with the descriptions that we have, then this life you can see it as a punishment. And for Adam alayhi salam, coming to Earth was a punishment. So I'm only mentioning that because Adam alayhi salam was sent to Earth as a punishment. But sometimes people live their life like as if we are never going to leave, and this is home forever, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that this life is temporary and we're only here for a short time. Okay, so Adam alayhi salam, do you know how many children they would have?
He had a few of them.
A few? A few thousand. Yeah. So there were, you know how they would come out? They would come out from his back, from Adam alayhi salam's back, and was 2 every day. So the family grew really, really quickly. Obviously, this is a miracle that took place. Okay, people can't have two children every single day. Yeah. Can you imagine we have 2 children every single day by the end of the year?
We're gonna have
We'd have a very full house.
and it's like the multiplication when I did the multiplication for it to work out would be 7 times 52. No, wait. Something, wait. Kind of.
365 times 2.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll come back to that. So, Adam alayhi salam had a lot of children, and you know when they were being born, he had no idea what was happening, and he said, what's going on? What is this? And even before that, before Adam alayhi salam was sent to Earth, he was actually shown all of his children. Do you know that?
No.
He was shown all of them, including us. Adam alayhi salam knows exactly what we look like. He was shown every single person from his lineage and his generations and generations. He showed everybody. Okay? And right now, I believe the world population is edging closer to 7 billion people. So that's just today.
I'm sure it's around 8 point, like somewhere around 4 billion.
You might know more than me then. You might know more than me. So if you know the exact number, drop it in the comments. So he was shown, Adam alayhi salam, he was shown all of his children. Okay, and there was one of the children that had like a really bright light coming from his eyes. Do you know about this one?
No, I don't think I've learned about it before.
So Adam alayhi salam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is this one? The one with the bright light coming from his eyes. And you know who it was?
Who?
It was Prophet Dawood.
Prophet Dawood?
Okay. And the thing with Prophet Dawood was Adam alayhi salam really, really liked him. Okay. He saw him and he's like, this is one of my favorite children, basically. Okay. And he said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that from my life, can you take away 40 years and give it to Dawood?
And then, when the angel of death has come to him, he said, you have another 4 years to go away coming here.
Yeah.
Now then the angel asked him, well, what do you give 40 to your son Dawood? And then he said no because it's like it's like humans, they do forget stuff.
I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit more detail. So do you know how Adam alayhi salam was meant to live? How long he was meant to live?
Over 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
1,000 years roughly. Okay. So now that he's given away 40 years of his life, he's going to live for 960. Okay. And just fast forwarding the story a little bit, when the angel of death came to Adam alayhi salam, he came in year 960, and Adam alayhi salam said, the angel of death said, look, your time is up. It's time for me to take your soul and for all of this to end, like his life to end. And Adam alayhi salam, he said, I've got another 40 years to go. And the angel of death says, look, you might not you gave 40 years of your life to Prophet Dawood. And he said, no, I didn't.
So that means that he basically just forgot.
Mm. So it's interesting that you said you forgot, yeah? You know the nature of humans, including us, is that we are forgetful, all of us. And it's very possible that you might forget something, and sometimes people just quickly turn around and say, you're a liar. You lied. Okay, it's very, very easy to call somebody a liar. In this case,
first you
Adam
need to get
is not lying.
evidence.
Yeah, he's not lying. He forgets. And this was one of the, I'm going to say the first and major times, major because it involves an angel and the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that a human forgot. And this human was the first one, which is Adam alayhi salam. So this characteristic of Adam alayhi salam, that he forgot, this carries through with every single human being, is that we can forget. And it's very possible. So just like you were saying, he forgot. He wasn't lying, he just forgot. We think the same about other people as well. It's very possible that they might just be forgetting, in which case it's very easy to call somebody a liar, but they're not lying, they're just forgetting. Okay, so do you know before we go on to how Adam alayhi salam was buried, do you know about some of the tricks that Shaytan played on Adam alayhi salam's children?
Oh, so it was Qabil, one of his. So Qabil, he basically like tricked him like for first year. So instead of making one big difference, you're obviously going to tell him that's too much. If you do a little bit more, you're going to okay, it's only a little bit more. So he kept doing that again and again and again until it got up to the point where Qabil eventually had killed his brother.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What other tricks did Shaytan play?
So on the thing, so the way how he does his tricks is he starts off whispering little things like so it's basically like I'm linking it with the plant. So first, or when you start seeing it a little bit, that's when the seed's planted. When the roots grow, that's when it's starting to get more. And then when the flower actually starts to like sprout out, that's when you're like building up that anger until it gets to the point where the flower is like just like blooming. Like where the petals are opening, and then that's when you just have so much anger inside you, and you're really like Shaitan's like not taking over your body, but like kind of like having some kind of like thing that's making you like unable to hold what your body's doing until you decide to do something that's really bad. Not bad, but like probably cruel or evil.
Okay. Do you have any specific examples? There's one thing that Shaitan did, and many people don't like it. Many people consider it haram as well, and for this reason.
I'm not sure what that is.
He introduced music.
Oh yeah, I'm sure when I can't remember, was that Prophet Idris?
That's time of Prophet Adam alayhi salam.
So there's Prophet, and after that, on the hill for people listening to Quran, they were saying that. Then I can't remember they were doing.
Story.
They were doing something else there, and after, well, no, obviously not Quran because Quran wasn't revealed then. But after that, Shaitan was like on the other hill. Then he started playing it. Then all the people around there started dancing. They haven't heard it before.
It sounds more accurate. So, the thing with music is that
it's just like really addictive.
It's not just music. It's anything that you listen to over and over again. Okay, when you play things on repeat, so you can play Quran on repeat, and you will remember the surah. Okay, you practice Quran like that, right?
Yeah.
And if you
repeat it again, then I just remember it.
And if you listen to music and you play that on repeat, you're going to remember the words, right?
Yeah.
And the thing with playing anything that is attractive to your mind, and it acts like a bit like a magnet, and the Quran can act exactly like that as well. Music can do that as well. You can in the moment forget what you're doing, and what Shaitan did is that he played music and he lit a fire at night, and he encouraged people to dance together and so on, and they forgot what they were doing, and they forgot the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they began to commit sins. So many scholars say that for this reason alone, that one of the first tricks that Shaitan played and introduced to humans was the playing of music, and for that reason they consider music to be haram, because it was one of the first things that Shaitan played to humans, and it led them to doing things which are haram.
And also, so some people when they make them, it's basically like so that's part of Shaitan's trick to misguide mankind. Because on the thing, when you like first listen to something like you think it's a bit catchy, so you listen to it one time, you think it's nice, you listen to it the second time, then after that you keep doing it again and again and again until it's like stuck in your head, and then you can't just like get it out, and then you start forgetting stuff about Allah and stuff, and then you just like stuck in your head.
Exactly.
You can't get it out.
Exactly. So it's better to remember the words of Allah than it is to remember any other words, to be honest. Yeah. So okay. So Adam alayhi salam and his children will be trialed, including us, and be tested, and will have many attempts by Shaitan to misguide us. Okay, and what makes people good people are the ones who recognize the tricks that Shaitan plays on us, and they avoid them. Okay, so there are some very interesting tricks that Shaytan plays, and sometimes they look like it's a good thing, but it might not be a good thing. Okay, so we're going to give some examples about that a little bit later on. So I'm going to slowly bring this to a close and talk about how Adam's life came to an end. So after the angel of death came to him, and Adam alayhi salam forgot that he had gifted 40 years of his life to Prophet Dawood. And do you know how Adam alayhi salam was buried?
How?
Do you know who washed him? You know, before somebody dies.
Oh, how they wash them, then they wrap them and put them into some like a box, and then
That's right.
Then they buried the box.
Yeah.
With a person inside it.
Mhm. Do you know who did that for Prophet Adam?
An angel.
It was the angels, yeah. It wasn't one, but many of them. They washed and they buried Adam alayhi salam. And that, after that, it was Adam alayhi salam asked one of his children to take over, okay, and said, "You take care of things." And that person was known as Sheath or Seth. Okay, he's also a prophet. Some people say that this was Prophet Idris. There's a difference of opinion on it. That Sheath and Prophet Idris was the exact same person. I don't believe it was. It was somebody who came in between. Okay, but we're gonna go in the. There were many prophets. Remember, okay. We just know about some of them, and some of them we know of them by name, and some of them we don't know the stories of them because there were lots and lots of prophets. Okay.
There were like over 1,000. There were over 1,000, and we only know like 25, like mostly about to 25, because those are the ones that you mentioned in the Quran.
Correct.
That's how, like, the only place where I can get information from about the prophets.
That's right. We are going to end this here on the note where Adam alayhi salam passed away, and then he was washed and buried by the angels, and inshallah in the next video we'll be going over the story of Prophet Idris. Inshallah. I'll see you in the next video, yeah? Okay, Assalamu alaikum.